I'm an author, speaker, live and business coach, and a direct sales expert. On the King Pinion Show, I'll introduce you to today's hottest entrepreneurs, celebrity guests, individuals who would inspire and motivate you with their stories. And as a wife and a mom, I'll show you how to balance career and family. My name is King Pinion, and I'm here to equip, encourage, and empower lives.
Knowing when to talk to a man. Esther creates an environment. She's got a fascinating life. Her mind is remarkable because she knew that environment makes life harder or easier. I like three things in every room I enter. I like light, movement, and sound. I like waterfalls. I like an environment. And there's something about environment that decides if you get strong or you weak. And you got to decide the word you like. I like little fragrance that you smell, because if I don't decide what I smell, somebody else will decide what I smell. So I'm a man who believes very much in an environment conducive to me, what I like to look at. I put in front of me what inspires me. Now, Esther has a meal. She's fixing to tell the king about the worst mistake he's ever made in his life. How do you tell a man that he's been stupid? Well, I just don't tell him. I just don't say what I think. That's okay. Prisons are full of people who did what they did. And she senses and knows this is not the time. He is not ready to receive my words. Timing. Timing is everything. You ever get involved in the martial arts? It's the key in the martial arts is your time. She knows when to discuss. I told my mother over and over, I said, Mama, you've got to know when to talk to Daddy about it. Well, it's on my mind. I said, you've got to know when to talk. When to talk. Are you a master of conversations? Is that something that you see the value of? Since God runs the earth through conversation. It is my belief that a woman secures a man's heart through her words. Through her words. Through her words. The Bible says in Proverbs 31, the law of kindness is in her mouth. I am fascinated with kindness. I am intrigued by kindness. There's something magnetic about gentleness. A world-class woman studies ways to be a skilled conversationalist. It's the way that you correct a man's focus when it's wrong. It's the way that you talk to a man. And these are things you say, well, not my will. I can't stand men. But we're not permitted to kill them. So it's important that you master conversation. Now, not with just a man, with other women. If you find a woman who knows how to treat another woman good, you're fascinated, aren't you? That was the fascination of Boaz when he looked at Ruth. And he said, they tell me that you treat your mother-in-law, Naomi, better than 7 sons would treat their mother. How do you talk to your equals? How do you talk to those who host you in the world? How do you talk to those who service you in a restaurant? I've been with people that after I'd been to one meal, I'd had enough for the rest of my life. Just the way they talk. Where's my iced tea? Where's my iced tea? Where's no sugar? Where's the sweet one? No, I don't like equal. I don't Splendor or Splendor. How do you talk? Are you condescension? Are you consistent? To me, a world-class woman is a master at conversation. She knows when to speak, when to listen, when it matters and when it doesn't. I was telling a young lady at the Wisdom Center, our home church where I pastor in Fort Worth, Texas. I told her, I said, honey, a man wants entertainment. He may not say it, he may not express it, but he wants a person who takes his mind away from the stress that he's feeling. He's looking for an exit. And a woman is something God isn't himself. The second quality of a world-class woman is a world-class woman is a world-class learner. A learner. I consider myself a professional learner. Learn to do well. What subject are you mastering? What questions are you willing to ask? Enter every conversation as a learner. Enter every environment as a learner. My banker said, Dr. Murdoch, what do you do for a hobby? I said, I'm a learner. That's what I do. I'm a learner. If it ever dawns on you how little you know, you'll never have an arrogant moment in your life. There is so much we don't know. There is so much in our life that we are not acquainted with. We just don't know. And if we enter every day as a learner, I enter every day. I'll wait for you, brother. Thank you. That's all right. Thank you so much. I better drink some of this. Is this cold yet? No, this is perfect. This takes it. Okay, thank you so much. You leave it there. Okay, good. That's better for me. You invested this much. Thank you, dear Big John. Praise God. What do you want to learn a lot about? Who's willing to mentor you? Who's willing to teach you? How much time are you willing to invest in learning? I invest in my mind because it's more important than my father. If I can take care of my mind, I can take care of my father. If you can take care of your mind, you can take care of your mother. But if you don't take care of your mind, you can't take care of anybody. So I learn ways. What should you be learning? You should be learning your dominant difference from others. What is the divine deposit in me? What is my distinctive difference from others? That's your assignment on the earth. Watch me carefully. My eyes see. My ears hear. My mouth speaks. My hands reach. My feet walk. Lawyers solve legal problems. Mothers solve emotional problems. Preachers solve spiritual problems. It's called your assignment. You're not assigned to everybody. You're assigned to somebody. You're not assigned everywhere. You're assigned geographically. There's a place where your difference will flourish. And you will attract honor instead of dishonor. Where do you belong? What subject do you want to master? Where do you want to be the best? Who's willing to teach you, train you? Do you know your difference? If I say Michael Jordan, you're going to say basketball. If I say Muhammad Ali, you're going to say boxing. If I state your name, what will people think? If you cannot tell me in a single sentence what the difference is in your life, you don't yet know your difference. Which means nobody is pursuing you for the divine difference in you. Which means you're living life unrewarded. Comfort is created by agreement, but success is created by our difference. A restaurant succeeds because of its difference. Remember in my home, and I looked at you and said, tell me what's different about this business. Remember that? And I probed because I want to know what makes it different. What makes you different? What makes your business any different than anything else? If I bought a replacement, what if I went to your rival, your competitor? What would you tell me was the difference? If you can't tell me difference, there's no reason to be there. What do you want to learn about? I've got thousands of books in my library. None about repairing cars. Why? I don't care. I don't care. Well, you need to learn how to change a tire. Why? Why? I don't know how to fly a 747, so why? When you choose what you want to master, you expose what doesn't really matter to you. You're taping this, aren't you? So this needs to be heard again and again. Most of the knowledge on earth is meaningless to your son. There are books, thousands of books on raising worms, snails, fish in the bottom of the ocean. Who gives a rip? I don't. So there's so much in life we don't need to learn. Until you establish, I ask you to write your goals, because until you write your goals, most of your knowledge is accidental. It has no meaning to your goals. And if I walked into your house, when I walk in, I should see your goals on the walls. Don't make your house a museum about the past. That means your past is more exciting than your future. It's okay to have one room for yesterday. Well, I wouldn't make my whole room. This is my life. It's about over. There should be a tomorrow room at your house. I call it dream wall. There should be a dream wall of the future we're entering. Because every divine conversation is about your future. You didn't like your past, or you stayed there.
Well, it's time for you to ignite your life. Do you feel like you never have enough? Do you feel stuck emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually? Do you feel disappointed by your current life circumstances? Are you struggling in or with your relationships? Are you battling with your weight or health? Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to be, do, and have everything that you want in life? At the Ignite Women's Conference, you're going to experience some dynamic teaching from world-class leaders who have mastered their professions. We're going to equip you with some resources and tools necessary to help you grow and change from the inside out. I look forward to meeting you and your friends at the upcoming event. I want to hear from you. Please leave a comment on my website. Again, it's kingpinion.com. Connect with me on Facebook and also follow me on Twitter. Cheers to your success.
Do you have a picture of your future? What are you willing to learn? Somebody tweeted me on Twitter and said, if you had one question to ask God, what would it be? And I tweeted back, how can I learn faster? And then I thought on that and I said, nope. If I had one question to ask God, I'd say, what should I learn first? If I walked into your house, will I see the house of a learner? I went over to eat at a friend's house, and he's always said, Mike, I want to be one of your 300 millionaires. I want to be one of your 300 millionaires. I said, well, that's wonderful. I said, bring me all your books. Bring me your books about millionaire, what you're studying about wealth. bring me the books by Malcolm Ford, Donald Trump, you know, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs. Just bring all you. He said, well, I ain't got a, I just got a, and he had about 40, 50 little books. You know, the kind you get for $1 a month or something, a book club. And I said, this is your mind world? $30,000 car, $200,000 home, and $50 on your brain? I would never in 1,000 years spend more money on my clothes than I would my mind. My mind matters to me. My mind. I brought a little book in here, read everywhere I go. 42 pages. Cost me $1,500. Wow, must be some real good recipes. The man who wrote this book, you can't buy it in a store. He was an illiterate bricklayer in Australia. Could not read nor write. Went to hear Billy Graham and had a real experience with Christ. God helped him to learn how to read. He read 7,000 biographies and became a billionaire. What is inside this book I have not found in not one of my 13,000 books in my house. He sees what no man sees. He knows what no man knows. He knows how to assess difference and what to listen for in every conversation. He's got 8 qualities someone has to have before they can be his friend. One of them is they've got to have empires in their mind of the future they're pursuing. You have empires in your mind. You paid one. My assistant said to me, Dr. Murdoch, do you really think that's worth $1,500? I said, I'm worth $15. You should be the #1 investor in your life. Because you can't help anybody who won't invest in themselves. God believed in the whole world. They didn't believe in themselves, so they refused his love. Are you a learner? And what's the proof? There are 2 ways. I'll get into this tomorrow, but there are 2 ways to gain wisdom. Wisdom is the ability to recognize difference. Difference in the conversation, difference in people, difference in your assignment in the world. You must understand difference. Embrace your difference. But you can learn through people or pain. If you can't learn through people, you'll learn through pain. Mentors and mistakes. 3. The world-class woman understands the law of honor. The law of honor. There are 10 commandments. The first 4 deal with honoring God. The last 6 deal with honoring people. If you don't understand the law of honor, you cannot succeed. If you understand the law of honor, you cannot fail. There should be different people, different levels. You ever watch television when they're following a man that's running 100 miles an hour and all the police are behind him for about 2 or 3 miles? And, this is 60 miles. He's gone so far. Now this is 70. Oh, he's making a turn now. And you see this man, and he's turning in his car, and he's running from the police. Then he finally crashes, always hits a telephone post. Thank God for telephone posts. We never get these guys. And the man scrambles out of his car and starts running. This is the kind of man every woman should marry. A man with that much hope. There's one man with hope. 10 guns, but he can outrun everyone. This is a man with great fear. He got confidence. My close friend Andre Crouch, I've got confidence. And I see this man run out there, what an idiot. to think he can outrun these police. But somewhere his mother didn't teach him honor. Why are the prisons full? Nobody loved them? Somebody did not teach them who to honor. Dishonor is costly. It's different than attitude. Attitude is a feeling towards somebody. That's respect. Honor is something you do because of respect. Respect is just an attitude. Honor is an investment. My father will never buy another thing in his life. Why? He is my father. I have had some horrible moments in my life where I forgot who I was talking to. I'm looking for a fellow ignoramus. How many has ever had days you forgot who you were talking to? I looked at someone a few weeks ago that was talking to me. I could not believe what they were saying to me. And I just stopped and I said, do you know who you're talking to? You do realize this is your last day on the channel. I know that. I said, you know that. I have your severance check here 10 minutes. No, you won't talk about that. That was the secret of Abigail talking to David. And you know the story. After she started talking to him, he said, yeah. And 10 days later, God comes to the heart of her husband, Nabal. He falls over dead. And David writes her, hi. Heard about your husband, Steve. I'm coming through Bethlehem next Thursday. And he married that woman. A woman knows how to talk to a man. There'll never be a day he'll deny her access. Now I'm saying this because these are things to learn. Right here, the law of honor. Whatever you do, don't get into dishonor. No matter what the cost. It's hard not to. It's hard to be in the presence of a fool and not acknowledge it. I have several quirks. Several weird stuff in me. I don't know if it happened in my birth or it happened over the years. But I had several problems. One of my problems is I study the behavior of fools. How many understand what I'm talking about? You don't lift your hand, you're the fools we're talking about. And you ever had somebody just really do something crazy and you just sit there, why did you do that? And you get right down in the pit with the why did you do that? Why? And it's real hard to disconnect from a fool. Because you're so interested, fascinated. How did they follow this road? Poise is staying silent in the presence of a fool. There's 7 reactions that reveal your character. We'll touch on this tomorrow, 1:15 or 1:45. I think it's 1:45. Your reaction to a gift. Your reaction to the presence of greatness. Your reaction to correction. I cannot begin to stress the importance of reaction with honor. With honor. I'm asking the Lord to really teach me this. To really help me stay in honor. It's not easy. It's not easy. I'm the kind of guy that's a strong believer that the instruction you follow determines the success you experience. I can trace all three. The Bible explains poverty very simply. Poverty and shame cometh to him that refuseth instruction. There's no mystery to poverty in the world. There's no mystery. Somewhere somebody refused to implement an instruction. If I stayed around your life and I gave you some instructions and you begin to rebel against an instruction, you've given me a picture. I can trace all in my life to an ignored instruction, all failure. A world-class woman understands the law of honor. Ruth showed it to Naomi. Esther showed it to Mordecai. Abigail showed it to David. I'll just ask you some questions. Who have you chosen to dishonor? And do you understand the high price you paid? Who have you chosen to honor? Well, Mike, I don't honor my father because my father's not like your father. Your father bad at prayer, your father preacher. My dad was an alcoholic. That means that honor has even a greater reward because of who you choose to honor. Amen. I don't honor somebody only because of who they are. I honor them because of who I am. A man opened the door for a woman, and she said, "You don't have to open the door just because I'm a woman." He said, "Oh, ma'am, I didn't open that door because you was a woman. I opened that door because I'm a gentleman."
Ladies, it's time to ignite your life and become a new woman.
On the King Pinion Show.
Get the tools to help fight for your breakthrough, mind, body, and soul. Join author, speaker, life and business coach, King Pinion, for the Ignite Your Life Women's Conference.
I pledge to totally equip, encourage, and empower you ladies.
Log on and register today at kingpinion.com. That's kingpinion.com. In today's business world, success is an art form. You must continue to broaden your knowledge base to keep up with the latest trends, strategies, and ideas in order to succeed. Author, speaker, coach, and direct sales expert King Pinion has co-authored in an inspiring new book titled Mastering the Art of Success, along with celebrity authors Les Brown, Jack Canfield, Mark Victor Hansen, and many others. The authors featured in this book were specifically chosen to help you create winning habits and acquire the vital information you need to stay competitive. Reading what these authors have to share will be time well spent, and you'll pick up vital new skills. You will also learn how to make smarter decisions, enhance what works, and eliminate what does not. Each chapter in Mastering the Art of Success is like a mini coaching session that will help you achieve your personal and organizational goals. Remember, you are the author of your life. You have the power to unlock your potential, and Mastering the Art of Success will show you how. For more information and to order your copy of Mastering the Art of Success, please visit kingpinion.com. That's kingpinion.com.
Four, the world-class woman embraces her divine difference from others. A world-class woman embraces her divine difference from others. Three keys. What do you love? What do you love to do? What do you love to learn about? What do you love on the earth? The proof of love is investment of time. The proof of love is investment of time. Show me what you love and I'll discover your wisdom. When I find your wisdom, I'll find your success. What do you love to learn about? What do you love to talk about? What do you hate? Whatever you hate is something you're designed to correct and change on the earth. What makes you cry? That's a clue to something God wants you to heal. Can you tell me the percentage your difference from another? And have you embraced your difference? I made D- all through school in conduct, which is right next to F, which is failure. And I was good in certain subjects, but I was just real bad in conduct. I was thought about that when you was talking tonight about your cantankerous way. And I just felt much I had to say, so much I had an opinion. I didn't do well in English. I got to my hand and said, who said this was a part of sin? Who? named this an adverb? Who? I don't even know. Who said this was an adverb? I was that experienced with teachers. Who asked why? I said, so somebody you don't even know wrote this and you're teaching? But the people would come around and say, I can tell your dad's a wise man. Your dad is so wise. Because he doesn't hardly say anything. Your dad's so quiet. He just sits there and doesn't say anything. So I want to be like Daddy. Daddy's wise. They all said Daddy was wise. So I want to be like my daddy. And so I wrote on some 3x5 cards some scriptures about talking. A fool uttereth all he knows. Said a watch before my mouth. The tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. And every time I want to talk, Bill, I just pull out my little scriptures and read them. And I just sit there. People talking and say, finally one day I just screamed out to my mom. I said, Mom, I gotta talk. I gotta talk. She said something that changed my world. She said, son, maybe there's a gift from God involved. Now we've got to find something for you to say that people wouldn't mind hearing. And so I began to labor for essence in conversation. Do you know your difference and its place in the world? Something God has put inside of you is in no one else. Have you discovered the divine distinction inside of you? Have you found out what God has stored in you? Have you found out what God has stored in you? Do you protect it? Do you develop it? Have you embraced it? When I was listening to King tonight, and you saw the joy on her countenance, and she just, I mean, this is a woman who believes that God protected this hotel for her. That's kind of cocky, isn't it? But her confidence, there is something that God's put inside you. Have you discovered it? Maybe not. We study our weakness instead of our difference. We have spent our whole life looking at something we don't like. Your family found fault from the time you were born. When you left your mother's womb, everybody in your family lined up to tell you what they didn't like. If you were quiet, talk. Come on, don't just sit there, say something. Then if you talk, shut up, motor mouth. I think God gave you a family to prepare you for an enemy. You can survive your family, you'll survive your future. Because everything in your future is already at your house. In our house, we learn conversation. We learn negotiation. We learn adaptation. We learn changes. God gave us a home to grow our strengths and to bring our difference to light. Nobody else in your house may embrace your difference, but it's the testing ground for the future. If you can survive the critics who are blood kin to you, the future is going to be a total joy. A total joy. But have you embraced your difference? 6. 5. The world-class woman has discerned her greatest needs. You must know what you need to inspire you, what you need to strengthen you, energize you. Have you discerned your own needs? Through a dream, God spoke incredible things to me for 12 hours and 39 minutes about keeping myself inspired. Because if you can keep yourself inspired, there's nothing you can't do. There's nothing. There is nothing you cannot do. The struggle of life is keeping yourself excited about your future. That's the struggle. Putting things in front of you that inspire you. And God began to deal with my life to go through my house and get rid of everything that no longer inspired me. There was a little table on the end of a sofa. And I had my 15 or so of my staff over, and I told the lady that's like a decorator, I said, I don't like that little table, but I found one at Hemisphere. Here's money to go buy it. Oh, Dr. Rock, I love this little table. And I said, I know, but I don't like it. I want to move it, and there's another one I want, and I saw what I wanted. And she starts this sales job on me of what she likes. I said, but it's not your house, it's mine. And she's like, Dr. Murdoch. And I knew she was accustomed to ruling men. Very comfortable with it. And I stopped and I said to one of my assistants, go turn my iPod on and play this all through the house. Bill and Valerie, y'all been in my gymnasium. I said, I want the gym, I want the library, I want this music, there's a song I want to play all over these grounds of my house, in every building. And they turned it on. This is a song, some people don't think it's from God, I think it's God wrote it. And this is the song I had them play. This is the way, I want you to provide your This is the way I like it. Do you know what you want? Do you know what you want? When you choose a destination, the map will emerge how to get there. I came back from the Hawaiian hotel, the Hilton Hawaiian, and I'd been there every year for years and years and years, but for some reason, one of the waterfalls, I was walking around there at the Hilton, and suddenly this gorgeous waterfall. And I said, wow, that's what I want. I want this waterfall every day. So I came back to my contract. She said, oh, Dr. Mark, you can't do that between the two buildings, your house, your pavilion. We can't. I said, well, it's going to be done one way. You can do it, somebody else can do it. I like it. It's one of the most gorgeous waterfalls. I saw it. This is the way. I think a world-class woman knows exactly how she wants her life. You schedule your experiences. Schedule your experiences. Nobody else can do that for you. You have to discern emerging needs, a change in your desires. I went to the picture wall of all my family, and there were relatives. There are pictures of their wife. They're related. They're my family. But some people I didn't like. But why are their pictures up there? Because they're blood. And the Holy Spirit told me, does that person up there inspire you? I said, no, every time I look at it, I remember. And I went through my house and I started taking down pictures of every person who no longer inspired. Only put in front of you what excites you. And I started taking down the pictures off the wall. Well, Brother Mike, Jesus loves everybody. Well, that's why he gets to be Jesus. Do you know how to keep yourself inspired? And what's the price you're willing to pay for it?